Have you ever checked your phone for the 10th time before sunrise and felt that sting of regret creeping up your spine? Every swipe, every like, every useless notification is another rope tightening around your will. Some men never feel that rope because they've already snapped it. They walk into a room and silence begins to work for them. They don't speak louder, move faster, or beg harder. They simply rule themselves, and the world obeys that quiet authority like iron filings racing to. Niccolò Machiavelli called it adapting with the times, but adaptation starts inside, not outside. Before a prince can command an army, he must first command the troop of thought screaming in his own school. Discipline is the guard that stands at the gate of that mental kingdom, sword drawn, eyes unblinking. Without that guard, your mind is anarchy, and anarchy never builds empires. Look around. Most men you know are ruled by two tyrants, impulse and comfort. They binge on pixels, sugar, and cheap praise, then wonder why no one takes them seriously. Machiavelli warned, men are driven by love and fear. A man without discipline loves everything that numbs him and fears everything that sharpens him. He is predictable prey, but the disciplined man, he weaponizes both forces. He can turn affection into loyalty, fear into respect, and chaos into chess moves. His mornings begin before excuses wake up. His meals fuel, they do not sedate. His words are measured, like coins struck from a private mint, rare, exact, unmistakably valuable. Discipline feels like punishment at first because you're tearing down a counterfeit throne built by your weaknesses. The pain you feel isn't cruelty, it's construction. Every denied craving is a brick. Every completed repetition is mortar. Keep stacking, and soon the fortress surrounds your will, not your wishes. Picture Alexander the Great in the dead of night, lantern dim, body aching from miles of march. Instead of collapsing, he read strategy scrolls until his eyelid burned. He wasn't studying maps. He was studying himself, testing whether his mind would kneel to fatigue or stand with ambition. That self-test, repeated nightly, turned a teenage king into a continental storm. Fast forward 23 centuries and the test is softer but deadlier. Autoplay episodes, dopamine loops, endless scroll. The algorithm is a velvet assassin. It never forces, it only suggests. And suggestion is all it takes to dethrone a man whose garrison sleeps. Discipline posts guards on every gate, phone on airplane mode before bed. Alarm out of arm's reach. Workouts scheduled like royal audiences. Non-negotiable and attended on time. Here's a first assignment. Choose one desire today. Sugar, gossip, pointless scrolling, and starve it for 24 hours. Here it screams. That noise is your proof of captivity. When the screaming stops, silence is where authority grows. You can keep treating life like a buffet, or you can treat it like a battlefield. On a buffet, you grab what glitters and grow soft. On a battlefield, you take what matters and grow sharp. The choice is yours. But remember, every minute you delay that choice, the enemy inside digs another trench. Decide. Discipline starts the day, but habits keep the throne. Think of each habit as a brick in a road that leads straight to power. Step on that road daily, and it becomes so familiar that even fatigue can't make you miss the path. Miss the path, and the weeds of distraction swallow you overnight. First brick, rising early. Not for romance, but for advantage. When the city still yawns, the disciplined man is already stacking victories, cold water on his face, prayer or planning to align intention, iron lifted until muscles remind the mind who owns the body. Those morning rituals echo Machiavelli's advice. The early prince controls the late peasants. Control the dawn. Control the day. Second brick, focused work. Most men confuse movement with progress. They bop between tabs, half listen to podcasts, and call it hustle. The disciplined man seals himself inside time blocks like a king seals treasure within walls. 1 hour of that purity crushes 8 hours of scattered effort. Third brick, strategic rest. Yes, rest. Discipline isn't eternal strain. It is calculated effort. Machiavelli noted that armies march faster when supply lines are guarded. Your nervous system is that supply line. After deep work, the disciplined man steps away. A walk, deep breath, maybe deliberate stretching. He recovers with intent. Rest becomes fuel, not escape. Fourth brick, diet of purpose. Food can be a chain or a catapult. The undisciplined eat to sedate. The disciplined eat to dominate. High protein, clean carbs, fats that feed the brain, no random snacks betraying the gut like spies opening city gates. Water is within reach. Use it. Fifth brick, education, not passive reading, but active sharpening. 10 pages of a great text absorbed, notes distilled, one actionable idea implemented today. Caesar never ended a day without learning something about his enemies or himself. In your century, enemies hide in algorithms and markets. Knowledge compounds, ignorance overdrafts. Sixth brick, accountability. A disciplined man keeps score. Journal entries, workout logs, habit trackers, choose your parchment. What remains vague dissolves. Seeing a missed habit in black ink is like hearing a trumpet of shame. You will not skip twice. Seventh brick, environmental control. Machiavelli wrote that new princes must fortify cities but also dismantle rival fortresses. Your rivals are distractions, unchecked notifications, toxic friends, cluttered desks. Delete, distance, declutter. Make vice inconvenient and virtue frictionless. Soon, willpower becomes surplus, and that surplus funds your next conquest. But beware the saboteur called familiarity. After a month of wins, your mind whispers, "We're good now, we can coast." That is not relief talking, that is regression disguised as comfort. Machiavelli warned that princes lose cities the moment they stop inspecting the walls. You must conduct surprise inspections, random 5 a.m. wake-ups on weekends, unplanned cold showers, fasts on birthdays. These stress tests reveal cracks before enemies exploit them. Introduce consequence. Miss a workout, donate money to a cause you hate, betray your diet, announce the failure publicly, and double tomorrow's cardio. Pain refocuses. When stakes are real, discipline stays sharp. Finally, forge a companionless moment each evening. Lights dim, phone dead, just you and your ledger. Ask 3 questions. Where did I win? Where did I flinch? What must improve tomorrow? Answer brutally. A prince who lies to himself signs his own deposition. Remember, discipline is a daily crown that reverts to molten metal at midnight. Either reforge it each dawn or wake up a commoner. You've laid the road, now we forge the weapons. Discipline without psychological artillery is a fortress with no arrows. The first weapon is restraint. In an age of oversharing, silence becomes scary. Say less, watch more. The less they know, the harder they swing at shadows. Weapon 2, patient timing. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." But he also knew a lion waits before pouncing. Discipline teaches you to press pause until the odds tilt. Impulse buys applause, patience wins. Weapon 3, controlled presence. Shoulders square, eyes soft, jaw loose. Every muscle relaxed, yet ready. When you appear calm under pressure, weaker men project legends onto you. Their uncertainty is your invisible armor. Weapon 4. Calculated vulnerability. Reveal a small flaw intentionally. Maybe mention a past failure or a minor ignorance. People's guards drop. You gather intel. Machiavelli's fox smiles inside. Weapon 5. Reframing pain. The disciplined man renames suffering as signal. Soreness equals growth notice. Rejection equals redirection. Delays equals strategy. Buffer. Weapon 6. Emotional mirrors. Match the tone of the room, then lead it. Speak slowly to calm chaos. Speed up to ignite energy. People follow the tempo they recognize. When you shift tempo, you shift power. Weapon 7. Information diet. Feed your mind only that which moves the mission. News cycles, gossip, meaningless debates. They clog cognition. Curate inputs like a warlord stores rations. Quality over volume. Weapon 8. Negative visualization. Stoics imagined loss to harden gratitude. You imagine defeat to sharpen preparation. Picture the project failing, the friend betraying, the body faltering. Then rehearse your response. Fear decays under exposure. Weapon 9. Micro-confrontations. Daily do one thing that tightens your nerves. Cold call, sparring round, ice bath. Small wars train big peace. When real conflict arrives, your heartbeat has already heard the drums. Weapon 10. Time audit. Machiavelli studied not only people, but minutes. Track yours. Log morning to midnight for 3 days. The wastelands appear in daylight. Colonize them with purpose. Blend these weapons with your road and you become asymmetrical. Predictable discipline, unpredictable strike. But remember, every weapon grows dull when you flaunt it. The moment you boast about your early mornings, your abs, your reading lists, you trade steel for plastic. Vanity is discipline's most charming assassin. Keep scores private. Let results whisper. Napoleon understood this camouflage brilliantly. During the bleak retreat from Russia, he dressed in an ordinary soldier's coat, stomached the same stale bread, and marched boot to frozen boot with his men. His generals begged him to ride. He refused. That shared hardship forged loyalty hotter than medals. Here is a stealth exercise. Pick a disciplined goal no one will ever see. It could be memorizing a psalm, writing a gratitude sentence by candlelight, or holding 1-minute planks in silence before sleep. The hidden habit feeds your soul, not your reputation. And what feeds the soul is impossible to steal. Environment will fight back. Friends will tempt. Just one drink, one night off. Live a little. Continue. March. Culture fights harder. Ads promise happiness in a box delivered tomorrow. Apps reward you before you deserve it. You're selling awakening. You've armed yourself, but every fortress contains hidden tunnels where sabotage breeds. These tunnels are subtle traps. Fail to spot them and your empire implodes from within. Trap 1. Rationalization. Discipline dies not from outright rebellion, but from clever excuses. I'll start fresh Monday. I deserve a treat. Just this once. Machiavelli noted that princes fall when they confuse luck with strategy. Excuses are luck's twin brother. Slay them on sight. Trap 2. Identity. Lag. You build new habits, yet keep speaking the language of the old self. I'm trying to be disciplined. Trying means you still negotiate. Declare, I am disciplined. Words forge reality. Speak the title before the crown is visible. Trap 3. Perfectionism. Perfection looks like commitment, smells like fear. Waiting for the perfect plan is just sophisticated procrastination. Launch, learn, iterate. Cement while the wall is rising. Trap 4. Emotional debt. Unprocessed anger, envy, guilt, they drain mental currency. Journal, pray, lift, talk, pay the debt daily. Debts drown greatness. Trap 5, rigidity. A discipline that never bends eventually breaks. Machiavelli admired the oak, but he also admired the reed that bends in storm and rises unbroken. Keep core principles fixed, tactics flexible. Trap 6, mission drift. Goals multiply like rabbits. You start with strength, suddenly chase crypto, languages, dating courses. Now your focus is shards. Quarterly, purge projects. Keep one prime target, one secondary. Everything else is noise until victories mature. Trap 7, echo chambers. Surrounding yourself only with admirers inflates ego, deflates growth. Seek sparring partners for mind and muscle. A single honest critic can correct what 100 fans ignore. Trap 8, discipline dies in a weak environment. Redesign the scene or be defeated. Trap 9, overtraining and poor sleep sabotage as surely as laziness. Sleep reloads weapons. Trap 10, loss of why. When purpose fades, habit hollow out. Link every repetition to a vision. Protecting family, honoring faith, fulfilling legacy. Meaning vitalizes muscles. Now, how do you disarm these traps? Build an early warning system. Step 1, weekly review. Every 7th night, grade yourself ruthlessly. A, B, C, D, F. Celebrate only A. Everything else gets corrective action. Step 2, accountability, alliance. Share metrics with one man whose respect you crave. No excuses, just numbers. Step 3, public stakes. Set a date, announce it, and let shame enforce progress. Step 4, soul work. Scripture or meditation remind you you're more than muscle. Implement these and the tunnels collapse. Stay vigilant. The coronation does not happen in marble halls lined with trumpets. It happens alone in the dim light before sunrise when your hand slaps the alarm off instead of snooze. That click is the scepter placed in your palm. From this moment forward, think in dynasties, not days. A dynasty is built on 3 pillars: consistency, adaptability, legacy. Pillar 1, consistency. You already know the power of stacking days, but now you engrave it in stone with systems. Every evening, plan tomorrow onto paper before screens. Every task slot gets a start trigger and a hard stop. Obey the paper like scripture. Systems outlive motivation. Pillar 2, adaptability. A good prince reads weather. A great prince manipulates it. Market shifts, technology mutates, enemies evolve. Therefore, run quarterly chaos drills. Change your workout style, learn a new software, travel alone, spar in a different gym. Adaptation becomes a reflex, not a reaction. Pillar 3, legacy. Consistency gathers stones, adaptability carves them, legacy inscribes your crest. Write your future biography in present tense and review it weekly. Does today's conduct match those pages? If not, realign. Legacy thinking injects morality into strategy. Your power serves. It does not merely dominate. Guard these pillars with 4 daily rituals. Morning readiness, hydrate, pray, move, script the day. Midday check, 5 deep breaths, posture, reset, scan for drift. Sunset score, log wins, losses, lessons. Nightly vision, visualize tomorrow's obstacles in detail, watch yourself overcome them. These rituals consume 30 minutes total. They gift back hours of clarity. Now craft your counsel. Select 3 allies. 1 wiser, 1 equal, 1 learner. The wiser offers counsel. The equal offers competition. The learner reminds you to articulate your knowledge. Rotate counsels yearly to avoid echo chambers. Finances. Allocate as a ruler, not a peasant. First, tax yourself. 10% of all income into untouchable reserves. Second, fund war. Invest in tools, education, networks that expand reach. Third, maintain the realm, living costs, family support. Fourth, feast sparingly, luxuries after objectives land. Money managed with discipline becomes a soldier, not a master. Influence. Speak rarely, post rarely. But when you do, carry value like a cannonball. One thoughtful essay outweighs 100 tweets. Let scarcity heighten demand. Relationships, apply Machiavelli's blend of lion and fox. Be firm on values, fluid on tactics. Reward loyalty publicly, correct betrayal privately but decisively. Never threaten, promise quietly, and deliver unmistakably. Spiritual core, kneel before no idol except truth. Whether you find it in scripture, science, or silence, consult it daily. A ruler who bows only to truth stands taller than any crown. Health. Treat your body as the war horse of mind and soul. Strength, 3 days. Endurance, 2. Mobility, daily. Nutrition, 80% clean, 20% flexible. Sleep before midnight more often than not. Blood tests each quarter. This is maintenance, not vanity. Culture. Create, don't just consume. Write journal entries, compose music, build projects. Creation cements identity deeper than consumption ever will. Finally, codify the oath of self-rule. I will govern my impulses, craft my habits, and wield my days with precision. I will seek wisdom, embrace hardship, honor my lineage, and build a legacy that outlives my heartbeat. Sign it, date it, read it aloud when resolve trembles. Remember, crowns are not inherited by the disciplined man. They are confirmed. Your people might never see the exact moment it happens, but they will feel it. In your calm gaze, your calculated speech, your relentless compassion mixed with unshakable standards. Power gained through discipline is quieter than thunder, but heavier than mountains. Wear it lightly, wield it wisely. Subscribe. Your discipline deserves a mentor, not an algorithm.